All right, we're gonna go through a couple scenarios where the wheel may be rubbing the brakes for some reason. Maybe you took the tire out to do a flat tire repair or put it in the car. Go ahead and put the wheel back on and you spin it and now we have a rub. So a few things could be happening, could be real simple fixes. So I'm gonna go through a couple scenarios that could be causing the problem and how to fix it. So here we're working with a V-brake system. We have two brake arms right here. Basically, sometimes they kind of go into the form of a V. That's what they call them, V-brakes. So we're using one hand here to squeeze both brake arms together. You want the brake pads to touch the sidewall surface of the brake, of the rim. Squeeze, and then my other finger, sometimes this piece will just drop right off. That one just dropped. Now we're released. Now we have plenty of room for this wheel, this big fat tire to drop down, and we're not going to hit the brake pad. So once that's released, we run into some other issues that can occur because now we have a loose cable. Once this guy's loose, we have plenty of room, plenty of slack. I could actually separate the silver portion, which is the curved area. This is the noodle. That can get separated there, separated from the housing here, and then this housing could actually pull out of your brake lever system here. So I can pull it out. I've got a little bit of space, not a whole bunch, but it can pull loose. What can happen now, so a lot of times is what happened, now that we have all this play, this housing right here likes to slip out. Right here is sitting where it's supposed to. It's sitting inside, it's recessed in. If this gets pulled out, a lot of times when you go to pull tension, this will hit the edge and not sit inside like here, like it's supposed to. It'll actually sit on the outside. So it'll create some excess tension, which will not allow you to set your quick release. So what happens down here, when I go to pull, I'm pulling the noodle, pulling it over, which is making the brake arm or the brake pad hit the sidewall surface. So we're stopping there. We're going to move this rubber boot away. That just popped in right there. So I'm going to purposely pop it back out. So right there, so it's actually taking up some excess space. So when I go to bring this brake arm over and try and latch it back up, not cooperating. So you can kind of see that play as it popped in. It actually gave me more space here. So I'm going to pull it out where it gets stuck. So when I try and connect back, it's very tight, so I cannot reach it. But if I go ahead and push that cable back in, so if I come back over here, make sure that this housing is seated, goes back inside. It goes in maybe 1/4 of an inch, but it gives me exactly what I need. It gives me that extra space I need. So now I could actually see some cable right between this rubber boot. If you don't have a rubber boot, it's just more for dust, not a big deal if you lose it. They get old and brittle and come off. Now I have that space to come over and reconnect this guy using my index finger. And then you're gonna let the spring arms retract. And if you're having trouble getting this in, just kind of do wiggle and jiggle, wiggle, jiggle, till that guy pops into place. And now we're back in action. So if I hit my brake lever, we're back functioning. And typically these two arms should be moving more or less at the same pace or same movement spacing. If not, then there's some minor adjustments we can do. So I'll go ahead and run through that all in one motion here. So basically squeezing these two arms together, using these two fingers, squeezing, using my index finger. Actually, this little piece dropped down by itself. If it doesn't, you can just use your finger and then you release there. And a lot of times this guy will come and get pulled out, get stuck right on this edge here, which does not allow you the space you need down here until it gets knocked back in. Now I have the spacing. You can go ahead and reconnect and then just do your test. Make sure your wheel's spinning, no brake rubbing. Good to go.